What's good, everybody? It's Cayman back with my tea of the day. Welcome to episode 46. Cuatro y yes. I hope everyone is living their best life as possible in this quarantine time. And let's get into something serious today. I definitely want to get into systematic and institutional racism. And let's just really get into those definitions. Because institutional racism and systematic racism is similar, it's pretty much the same. So it is a form of racism expressed in the practice of social and political institutions, is reflected in disparities regarding wealth, income, criminal justice, employment, housing, healthcare, political power, and education. So pretty much systems are saying, no, we don't want this person or this type of group, but we want this type of group. Pretty much is what it's pretty much saying. Alright, let's look at individual racism. The belief, attitudes, and actions of individuals that support or perpetuate racism. Individual racism can occur at both an unconscious and conscious level, and can be both active and passive, where you actively know that you're racist with your jokes, with this, with that, or you might be passive about it. You might not necessarily are aware that you're racist, but you're racist. And of course, let's look at white privilege. The concrete benefit of access to resources and social awards, and the power to shape the norms and value of society which white receives, unconsciously and consciously by virtue of their skin color in a racist society. We've been seeing some institutional racism all our life. We've been seeing some individual racism all our life. We've definitely been seeing some white privilege, especially lately. So let's really get into why is being black a problem? Why is being black a pill that a lot of people cannot swallow? Why is being black a problem? Why is it an issue? Why are we still reading the same story with different characters? It's really becoming draining. It's really too much. Let's get into our first person, Mr. Ahmaud Arbery, who actually died February 23rd, 2020. But why we just not figuring out about this story a few months later? So this young gentleman, this young African American gentleman, this melanin person, he was just going for a run around his neighborhood in Georgia. Little did he know, he was going to be hunted down and killed, murdered, because of his skin tone. Because Georgia is a thin line, because it is a stand your arm ground state. Like if you go to like Atlanta, that's where most of like the black people is. But then if you go to like other parts of Georgia, you'll see sprinkles of black people, but then it's mostly like white supremacists, Ku Klux Klan members, and all of these people, which is very unfortunate. And they killed him. The kicker is, Mr. Gregory is an ex-cop, and he brought his son along, Mr. Travis McMichael, and they also had a friend who decided to take this killing, this murder, and think that was okay. Instead of stop it, I'm saying like, no, this is not right. He didn't do anything to you. you're not threatened at any point of this matter. He's just going for a run in his neighborhood, and you had a problem with that. So now we can't go for runs? So what can we do that the white masses won't have a problem with? And they all got arrested and put in jail. And that is a step. And I'm happy for that step. Absolutely, they should get life in prison. They should be... I don't like the whole eye for eye thing, because that's not really helping the situation. But I think we're going in the right direction with them all being arrested and charged for murder. And I'm sorry, but if the death penalty was part of this, I know they're not going to do that anymore, then put them up for the death penalty, because there was no reason for you to kill that man. He did absolutely nothing to you. He just went out for a run. So in a stand your ground state, white America who kill black people will have 36% justifiable homicides. 36% of their homicides would be justifiable. Oh, it's okay. You felt threatened. I know, I understand. He was just so big and burly. But in the black communities, if the table was turned and we hunted them down, we would only be 3% would be justifiable. Meaning that 9 times out of 10, most of our ass is going to get locked the fuck up under the jail. 3% to 36%. Make it make sense. Then we have recently, like 2 days ago, we have George Floyd, a 46-year-old man from Memphis, Tennessee. And he uttered, "I can't breathe," while an officer had his knee on his neck. He didn't resist arrest. You stopped him for no reason, because there's no reason in the transcript why you stopped this man, other than he was black. And you have to yank him off the car for absolutely no reason, arrest him. He didn't resist arrest. And then you put your knee on his neck like he was an animal. Like you needed to tame him. Like those handcuffs was not enough. And you had 4 other officers. The other 3 officers that was there just sat there and did nothing. Allowed this to happen. Instead of saying, hey, that's not the way you're supposed to do it. That's not what we was taught. That's not what the classes was for. Like, didn't we go through this before? That's what I'm saying. It's the same story, different players. When was it stop? Because isn't this very familiar? Wait. I'm going to get into that. A quote I've seen. How many while black deaths will it take until the racial profiling and undervalue of black lives by police finally end? Another quote that really did something to my heart. Being black in America should not be a death sentence. It shouldn't. But it is for many black Americans that deal with racism every day, right at the front door. With parents who don't know if they're going to see their kids at night. Like that's the problem that we're living in today. He did nothing. And the sad part is, this is the same thing that happened to Eric Garner in 2014, where he said he can't breathe as well while he was in a chokehold. Like, you have your gun, you have your badges, you have your, hopefully, morality, and you also have your handcuffs. If they were handcuffed, how are they still a threat? If they're saying, okay, I understand that you need to arrest me for whatever reason, I'm not resisting arrest. I'm not saying you can't arrest me. I'm not trying to fight back. I'm not trying to run. But now I'm saying I can't breathe and nothing happens. You still continue to have your knee on my neck, knowing that that's going to cut off my circulation to breathe. Blood is still coming out of my nose, but that's still not a problem for you. You don't see the problem. These are some things that he uttered. Please, I can't breathe. My stomach hurts. My neck hurts. Everything hurts. They're going to kill me. These are the last words that we heard from him. And this is just utterly distasteful, disgusting. It makes me sick to know that the institutional system or the systematic racism is still at your front door. It's still there, and they still haven't learned from the many deaths that police have killed people throughout time, but especially from Eric Garner, who said the same thing when the police arrested him. I cannot breathe. And you still did nothing. You still did not try to help the man still breathe and stay alive. Whatever your reason for arresting them are, negates the fact after you kill them. I'm wondering why we can't trust you. Because you're going to kill us. We're supposed to trust the police. We're supposed to trust the system that keeps on failing us time and time again. When will we learn to stop trusting in the system that is against us, that is opposed of us, that is afraid of us? Because we are powerful with numbers. We are the biggest population. No, we are actually the smallest population, with the biggest death rates, the biggest incarceration rates, the biggest health scare rates, the biggest educational disparity rates. Like, our education is not like the white kids' education. It's not. It's completely different. With the coronavirus, I'm not 100% sure of the 100% number, but more black people died than whites because they just didn't care about us. They just thought we was a number at that particular moment when we were trying to seek care. Why is it that we have to be coughing up a lung or almost dying to get tested? How does that make any fucking sense? So how am I supposed to know if I got it or not, so I can know what to do, what my next steps are to cure this respiratory disease? So you're not really trying to make COVID go away. You're not trying to keep it at bay, because you're not testing everyone to make sure that everyone is okay, and the people who are not okay getting the treatment that they need. But they can't do it unless you give them a test so they know what it is. You gotta make some sense somehow. But that's the systematic way, apparently. And let's get into this Amy Cooper. You tried to stupid. It was this lovely white lady who decided to be in Central Park, and she wanted to walk her little dog without a leash. And you're aware, at most parks there are leash laws, meaning you need to leash your dog. You cannot let your dog run around free. Even if it's a pandemic or not, they still need to be on a leash. That is the law. So she decided to not have her dog on a leash. And a gentleman who happened to be melanin decided to say, "Ma'am, you're not following the law. You need to put your dog on a leash." And her white privilege kicked in, and she thought that, oh, he's not going to talk to me that way because I'm white. How dare he talk to me that way? How dare he tell me what the law is? So she decided to call the cops and say, a black man is harassing me and I feel unsafe. Knowing that that's all that they need to come get us, to come lock us away, put us under the jail, to take us away from our homes and our families and our lives. That's all, and possibly physically our life. These are things that white privilege doesn't allow them to think about. Because with her doing that, this Madeline brother could have lost his life. Could have just been arrested for no reason. Could have been put in jail for no reason. could have been away from his family, away from making money, away from his livelihood that he knows. But thank God that everyone got a wind of the white privilege and how nasty and disgusting and distasteful it was. And Miss Amy Cooper got fired from her big job. And lost her dog. Because you didn't have the dog on the leash, and you were choking the shit out of the dog when you put it on the leash, when you tried to stop the gentleman from videotaping you. You tried it, you stupid. And like that was just blatantly right there, that white privilege. And I'm happy that we actually caught on to what she was trying to do. And it's sad because it happens every day. Why are we still in the same story with different characters? Why are we still allowing and doing X, Y, and Z? Why are we still trying to protest, but we're not trying to put powerful black people in office? Why are we not putting people who care about us in office? Our color, our melanin, our shades of color in office. Yes, Obama was a start, but he still had other people behind him that was not like us. So when I'm going to put someone who's like us, whether they're black or someone who cares about our issues and who understands our pain, in motherfucking office. That's why we need to stay in politics. We need to be at the tables. We need to stop asking to be sat at a table. We need to make our own tables. We need to make our own changes if we want to really see change. Like, yes, protest is great, but when you start getting physical because you get angry because you feel like you're not doing anything, that's where it's a disconnect for me, because you're depicting what they already think we are. By you acting out and they have to put mesas and scare gas and all that stuff that they have to do to do us, how is that helping us in the long run? Because they already think that we're animals. They already think that we're less than. They already think that we don't belong. But by you acting out in that way, that's not helping the situation at all. You're just becoming hostile. Yes, you absolutely have a reason to be hostile, but that's not helping us as a people. We need to think about helping us as a people. How are we going to get out of the shit that we're in? We need to stop acting to be at the table. We need to make our own table. We need to make our own decisions. We need to really be behind these forces. We really need to understand politics and understand what our rights are and what they can do and what they're allowed to do. Yes, videotaping is great, but why are you videotaping and not helping? If someone decided to say, hey, I'm going to help George, maybe he would have died. By you yelling and screaming at the officers, they're just getting frustrated. They're saying, oh no, I feel threatened. And it's sad, you could be the smallest person or the biggest person, it does not matter. However, because of the shade of your skin, they're going to feel like they are better and they can do whatever they want to do until we stop them. So all 4 of those cops was terminated. That is a step from being suspended with pay. So we are all in the right direction, and hopefully they do get arrested, because that was murder. But we have to continue to be happy with, unfortunately, the steps that they are trying to make, the steps that are being made. People are getting arrested, people are paying their dues, and people are basically dealing with the shit that they put themselves in, with the horrible decisions that they make. But then we always keep on saying Black Lives Matter as completely our lives matter. However, you have to include the whole black aspect, the whole black party, which is the light-skinned black, the dark-skinned black, the melanin, the mixed black, the Afro-Latinas, whoever had a skin tone other than pale. You have to think about them. You also have to think about the gay lives, the bi lives, the trans lives. And we continue to disrespect the LGBT community, but expect for them, since they're black, to be all Black Lives Matter. No, every life matters. No one, like, we're fighting to be heard at the table because there are these barriers that's surrounding us that is saying, hey, you are not that person. However, once we really get into the nitty gritty of it all, we're all the same person. We all bleed. So once you really say all Black Lives Matter, we need to stop killing each other. We need to stop fighting each other. Atlanta is a whole fucking fool right now. For what? Because it got hot outside? No social distancing, no motherfucking masks. Y'all want to just fucking fight all motherfucking day. That's fucking disgusting. And that's my community. It's horrible. So once we stop killing each other, once we start really banding in as a team, and hey, he's gay, but he's cool. Hey, he's gay, but at the end of the day, this is a bigger agenda than who the fuck you sleep with. Once we really start caring about people's lives in our community, in our black community, and then the world can understand and we can really be respected as people. Just in 2020 alone, 11 trans individuals was murdered. I'm not gonna say died, because that's the politically correct term of it. They was murdered. They was murdered for being them. Let's go down. Dustin Parker, murdered January 1st. So the top of the year, they just wanted to start it off. They wanted to start it off. Melissa Ushan Ruiz, murdered February 24th. Yompi Mendez Archer, murdered March 5th. Monica Diamond, murdered March 18th. Lexi was murdered March 28th. Johanna Metzgar, murdered April 11th. Serena Angelique Velasquez Ramos, murdered April 21st. Layla Sanchez, murdered April 21st. They was murdered together, actually. Penelope Diaz Ramirez, murdered April 13th. Nina Pop, murdered May 3rd. And Healy J. Ortego, murdered May 6th. Can we have a moment of silence for the people, for the trans people who just lost their lives for no reason but being themselves? Can we take a moment for the black lives who are continuously being killed by police with no regards, no change, little change? I recently just seen a video today, actually, with a gentleman who was just doing his DoorDash, who was working for DoorDash, and he had a gun pulled out on him by a white supremacist, and he thought that was okay, and he didn't care, because when the cops came, he was just so nonchalant about it. That's the problem. They think that because they have the privilege that we don't have, they can continuously do whatever they want to do. Until people put them in your place saying, yes, you are white, yes, you were deemed superior, but this gotta stop. This ain't right, boo-boo. You're not doing this no more. We're not living by those rules. We're not playing those games anymore. Another one. A lady said that a black man kidnapped her son. But in reality, she killed her son. But I guess she was too ashamed to say it. just using the black person, the black car, the scapegoat was just perfect for her. He's tried it. It was a youth pastor who also decided to say he was, I think, attacked or kidnapped by a black man. In all actuality, he was in a hotel room, either cheating on his wife or with, unfortunately, an underage person. We tried it. Why are we the scapegoat? Why is being black a problem? I'm 31 years old and I'm just now opening my eyes to racism in its fullest extent. Because it's not even being hidden anymore. It's not even being subtle anymore. It's right in your face, right at your front door. That's what makes me scared to even be a parent sometimes. Because I know how I am, and I would hate to not be able to sleep at night because I don't know how my kid is, where my kid is, or if he's okay, or if he or she is okay. We have to do better as a community, and we have to really start sticking together, because we might be smaller, quote unquote, in numbers, but we make up a larger population in terms of unemployment, in terms of educational disparity, in terms of wealth. In terms of wealth. Why every $100 that they make, we're only making 57.3% of it? That's the problem. We cannot continue to allow these people to hate our melanin. Because our melanin is popping. Our melanin is wonderful. It is pure. And our melanin scares them. And I understand why. But I don't know if every melanin person understands the power that they have. The power of the tongue. The power of conversation. The power of, I'm tired. I'm sick and tired. I'm being in this predicament. I'm sick and tired of listening to these same stories. What are we going to do as a people to change the narrative? To write our own story. To make our own changes. To put people in power that needs to be in power. Mr. Trump, he knows exactly what he's doing. Because he's just being the slave master. He's just saying, come on, boo-boo, come over here. Let me allow you to come to the White House. Because I allowed you to do that. I gave you that. But I'm not going to help you. I'm still going to build this wall. I'm still going to start wars. I'm still going to grab people by the pussy. Because I'm allowed to. Because of my skin tone. So I hope that this conversation continues. I hope that it's helped you in some way. I hope that we really become our change that we need to see. Thank you for listening to Kimi with the She channel, episode 46. Hit me up on IG at Kimi Holder or on Facebook at Kimi Holder. And just inbox me. Let me know if you listen to it. Give me your feedback. And let me know if you want to actually be on my podcast and do something together. That would be dope. But just continue to have this conversation. Please share my podcast. Let your family listen to it. Let people who might not understand our pain listen to it. And let them learn. Because this is about learning. This is about fundamental health. This is really about shit that we don't get on a regular basis. So hopefully you really understand. And I'll see you on the next one. Laters.